treatments, is it then wise, it's said people who have relaxed hair should treat their hair every 2 weeks, yes? One, should I treat it every 2 weeks, and can I change my treatments every week?
Now, if your hair is relaxed, if your hair is natural, your hair needs treatment. Because treatment strengthens the hair, it protects the hair from running dry, from running weak. Now, despite hair being chemically straightened or natural, like I've said, it should be treated, and if possible, treat your hair weekly. Just
with different treatments?
Yeah, with different treatment. Now, what do you mean when you say different treatment? It's not running from a brand to another. It's not using Miadi today, tomorrow Motions. You need to know, this treatment I'm using, what does it give to the hair? Is it a protein treatment or is it a moisturizing treatment? Because despite all the treatments, the array of treatments that we have in our market or in the world, they only do two things. It either protects your hair from becoming weak by imparting protein or strengthening or correcting damage on the hair, or it imparts moisture. Because if your hair is dry, it becomes brittle and fragile. If your hair is weak, then it will break. So we use protein to strengthen the hair, and we use moisture treatment to ensure that the hair is shiny, it does not run dry, it's full and all that.
So does that mean I buy a protein treatment and a moisturizing treatment from one brand?
Yes, you can. You can run with one brand if it gives you what you need.
Results.
I mean, if a brand has a good moisturizing treatment, and I'm not saying that we do not have treatments that are substandard in the market, because people are really fighting to buy. I'm in the business, and people want to buy cheap things. But again, I believe we should train people that you buy something cheap, it will give you the bad side of what you wanted to achieve.
Yes, cheap
so
is always expensive.
Yes, so you need to get the right product. If it is a moisturizing treatment, make sure that it delivers that. If it is a protein treatment, then make sure it delivers that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's come to something that I'm very sensitive about, and that's palming of children's hair. First, is it right to palm? And when I say a child, I'm talking about a 4 or 5-year-old. Is it too early? You know, when you look at the packaging they have for these chemicals that are so-called young, chemicals for babies, you have these young pretty girls who look 4 or 5 who have chemically treated hair. Is that right?
Now, the boxes, even when mature people want to relax their hair for the first time, they go for those boxes with young kids and all that, because they believe it's mild. But if you follow the cosmetology laws, it says do not relax a kid's hair until they are 13, 14, 15. Reason being, for instance, even a mature person, if you burn their scalp with a relaxer and you burn them severely, then what happens is that after some time they'll complain that their hair grows to a certain length and cuts. So what happened is that, for instance, let me give you an example that is very common. If you put hot water in a plastic bottle, it shrinks. So if you burn the scalp with a chemical, your follicles will shrink. So they cannot support long hair growth. So again, with young girls, if you want to relax your hair, you can actually mess their hair life after many years after. Yeah, you see some people who had thick hair when they were young, but as they grow, their hair thinned, and you cannot explain why. So it is not advisable to relax a kid's hair until they're the age of 13 and above, or even 15. It's only fair that. And to maintain their hair, you need to get things that soften. We have sprays that you just spray on the hair, it softens the hair. And when you're combing it out, it's smooth, and they don't hate it. Because if a kid cries when you're combing their hair, then they hate the whole thing.
Not even that, I discovered olive oil works best. It softens the hair. There you go.
Now, just one final thing on kids. If you say kids relaxers just because they have that photo of a young girl, they are safe. It's like saying human, because the ingredient is the same. It's either calcium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide. It's like saying you have kids alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Think
about that.
Yeah.
Dandruff.
Yes.
A lot of people experience dandruff, well, at least once, in their lives. What causes that, and how can we get rid of it?
Dandruff. Now, we need to draw a line between dandruff and a dry flaky scalp. Number one, out of 10 people saying they have dandruff, only 2 will pass to have dandruff. Because number one, dandruff is an infection, and it is triggered by a bacteria called Pityrosporum ovale. It's actually a yeast that is found in many people who have dandruff. But then with a dry flaky scalp, it could be because of a cheap shampoo, that dries your scalp and dries your hair. And then it could be because of maybe you don't condition your scalp well, or maybe some people go relax their hair and they don't even neutralize. So what anything alkaline, when it comes to the scalp, what it does, it really dries the scalp, and then you start getting flecks, and sometimes it gets itchy. Again, some people generally have a dry scalp, so if they do not oil it, or they do not use a conditioning shampoo and a conditioner afterwards, then it runs dry 2 to 3 weeks after, days after, and then they start complaining they have dandruff. Then again, like when you look at men, a lot of men put so much soap on their hair and scalp when they're taking a bath, and that tends to dry the scalp, leading to flecks. They never oil it, so when they go to the barber, maybe on Sunday or on a Friday, then they see a lot of powder coming off their head. But with dandruff, even today, we can't really say what causes dandruff. But like I've said before, there is that yeast that is associated with people who have dandruff. So what we do is we apply creams, or you can use products that have things like menthol, products that have things like tea tree, things like eucalyptus, camphor, and neem oil, what people call marubini. Those are things that really work well to reduce itching and the scaling of the scalp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being told my time is out, but we have to talk about natural hair.
Yeah.
For a very long time, we have believed to be beautiful, you need to have permed hair. It needs to be straight. It needs to be long. It needs to be a weave. But slowly and every day, at least I see someone who has done, the big chop and has a teeny weeny afro. And what can you say about that revolution? What do you have to say about that?
I would say it's not really.
First, is it a trend? Is it a phase? Is it something we'll get by, or is it something that's here to stay? Sorry.
I think if a few years back, everyone was on dreadlocks, and many years ago, everyone was on an afro. And you look at fashion. If you look at fashion, the way we are dressing, everything, fashion is just repeating itself, like after every 30 years. So we're going back there. Now the difference is that back then, when our parents our grandparents used to have these afros, there was not the technology was not there to maybe soften the hair and make it more manageable. So right now, I strongly feel that we are headed there. People will start asking for curly hair. People will start asking for full hair, and as from the point of a manufacturer and an hair expert, I only feel we strongly need now to start developing products that will make hair easy to manage and easier to style even when it's natural. So I believe it's a trend that is coming.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Now, the other thing is, if you go to people who are born with straight hair, they struggle every day to curl their hair. And people born with curly hair, they want to make it straight.
To make it straight.
Yeah.
It's a thin line between what you love and what you hate. But
Yeah,
thank you very much for coming through, Muli. I really appreciate that. We're talking about trichology. He's a certified trichologist. He's a person who can actually sit down, look at your hair, look at your scalp, and know what exactly the problem is. He says he's not a doctor, but we can call him the doctor for hair. And if you have any questions, please, you can reach him on john.muli at hakotigerbrand.co.ke. I'll repeat that. That's john.muli at hakotigerbrand.co.ke, or tonymuli@yahoo.com. He'll be able to give you advice on some of the questions you could be having that we have not tackled today. Now, before I go, we always have a quote, so let's have a look at that. He who has health has hope, and He who has hope has everything. That's anonymous. I'll repeat it. He who has help has hope, and he who has hope has everything. From anonymous. Wow. It's all about being healthy. So take care of yourself on behalf of everyone that makes this show a success. Thank you very much for watching us. Keep it Citizen TV. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Have yourself a lovely Wednesday. Take care.